Starting out on other social media, so we're starting the conversation from scratch. Let's start with, who am I? Hi, I'm Maddie. I have mast cell activation syndrome. I also have Ehlers-Danlos. I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, otherwise known as the unholy trinity. So what is mast cell activation syndrome? It's okay, everyone. I brought infographics. They were designed by Brandy at naughtylittlemasscells.com. Brandy encourages distribution of these infographics, but deserves the credit. Because these are great. What is a mast cell? This purple doodaddy. It's a part of your immune system. Mast cells play a role in inflammation, help defend against pathogens, and are involved in wound healing and tissue repair. My tissue repair is very strange. Thank you, mast cells. They are found in most tissues throughout the body, especially those that interact with the outside environment, including the lungs, gastrointestinal tract, and skin. Mast cell activation is a triple threat on its own. Mast cells are well known for releasing histamine during allergic reactions, such as in pollen or insect sting allergies. They play an important role in anaphylaxis, which is why I have such a problem with anaphylaxis without actually truly having allergies. They can detect and respond to foreign substances. Nothing foreign in this body, especially food. When a mast cell is activated by a trigger, these granules release many mediators, chemicals that mediate reactions, leading to symptoms. Histamine is a mediator. Okay, now you guys understand. Mast cells play a pivotal role in so many different systems in your body. So what does that look like when mast cells intervene? What are the symptoms? Cutaneous, skin, flushing of the face, neck, chest, hives, skin rashes, itching with or without rash. I want to say this can be on a scale. The involvement of my epidermis is completely contingent on completely random things that I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even have any involvement, but when I do, that can also completely vary. There are times where I'll get really splotchy, like I'm not right now, but I'll get really splotchy. So you'll see like little red, almost like a honeycomb pattern all over my hands and legs, but you think I just look a little pink. And that's when my dermographism is like the worst, so I can kind of draw on myself at that point. I call that flushing. There's a worse stage where like all around my eyes, it starts to get really dark. And then it's all over my chest, and I'm just like red. Sometimes in a I just rode a bike way too hard way, but usually like just splotchy. And that's not even everybody's reaction when they have this. I've seen people who just go beet red every time for every reaction, and that is tough. I do go beet red, but not every time. Hives and skin rashes. So I do get hives. I get two types. I get the regular, like, knobby, weird, globular ones, and that's rarer. But I also get these little pinprick all over my body, little raised bumps that are almost like bug bites. So those will happen when I'm having a reaction to, like, usually it's something to do with cocoa. I don't know what it is. It's not the chocolate itself. I'm trying to figure it out. But, usually when I'm drinking hot cocoa from someplace, if I haven't tested it before, I'll get the little pinprick hives. And that's not something people look for when they're looking for allergies. And it's a weirder reaction when it comes to histamine, because it's not like the real visceral reaction you're expecting from people who have like the severe swelling. I also can have that. I just don't every time. That's the inconsistency. Cardiovascular, lightheadedness, syncope, rapid heart rate, chest pain, low blood pressure, high blood pressure at the start of the reaction, blood pressure instability. So yeah, I have really high blood pressure as long as I'm compensating. That's the start of a reaction. You're still in compensation mode. Your body's trying to fight a reaction. When you start to decompensate, your body is like, mayday, mayday, mayday. That's when your blood pressure tanks and you can't even stand up. Fun fact, I've had people tell me that this reaction is just a panic attack. Thanks, Dad. But yeah, my heart rate would get really fast. But wait, there's still more. We still have neurological issues, headache, brain fog. Frog! Anyway, so cognitive dysfunction, anxiety, and depression. I'm fine. Ear, nose, and throat. I have had so many ENT procedures or surgeries, literal brain surgery, so many. Nasal itching and congestion, throat itching and swelling, wheezing, shortness of breath. I have asthma, but I don't have asthma, so what is my asthma? Gastrointestinal. Now this is my bread and butter. Right here. This is my bread and butter. Those ones. I don't want to say them all out loud, but I will point out GERD is particularly funny to me. My brother, who I'm closest with out of my 7 siblings, he has been diagnosed with GERD, but not mast cell activation syndrome. He's always had something different than me, right? But he hasn't. And I'm just gonna laugh at him. I'm gonna point and laugh. Ha ha! Not in like a mean way. You have to understand our relationship and how he did not understand mast cell activation syndrome for the longest time, and now he has it. He always had it, but it wasn't triggered. So the thing about mast cell activation syndrome too, it can get triggered by a viral moment. So it's not like something you necessarily are born with. You can be born with the propensity to get it, but you're not going to necessarily be born with mast cell reactive issues. But a virus can absolutely make you have all of these things. Having surgery can make you have reactivity. There's a flow to how your mast cells react, and if you can calm them down, and if they get more and more and more reactive, and there's a spiral about it, it's complicated. Especially given how it affects every single part of you. Now, what causes your mast cells to degranulate? I've already said food, but there's so much more that you wouldn't even think about. For example, odors, just medication, alcohol, specific foods, hot or cold. I have an issue from going from cold environments to hot environments, or the extremes. Or, cold to hot. I can't transition quickly from one to the other, and I can't handle extremes without getting gastrointestinal issues. I will also actually have a flushing reaction. I've had that several times, especially if I'm in the middle of a flare. So if my mast cells be reacting, hot and cold, no thank you. I'm very privileged to be a Californian, so I don't really have to deal with this one too bad. I do live in a really hot desert though, and that sucks. And I think I'm freezing, but it doesn't really get freezing here. I mean, freezes, but it doesn't snow. But yeah, even your own emotions can cause you to have anaphylaxis. I have personally only had anaphylaxis to my own emotions a couple of times. I've had really big emotions too, so hey, those days were safe days to be emotional. But I get very sick after I get emotional. I have basically I get hives and redness from crying. I'm allergic to my own tears, and when I get upset, my mast cells definitely react way more. It's so fun. I'm so happy to just have to deal with this, and when you didn't know what it was, that's even more fun. My family basically just thought everything was our family behaviors. Yeah, that's just our family history, man. It's not abnormal for our family. Well, that's because our family had mast cell disease. Keep in mind too that mast cell disease is a part of the immune system. And while we don't think it weakens the immune system, it may even make just the mast cell parts way more powerful than they need to be. And that can lead to horrible outcomes when it comes to viruses, when it comes to secondary infections, when it comes to lots of things. So if someone in your life has mast cell disease, mast cell activation syndrome, please be safe and don't give them any reason to think they might get sick from you. It's like allergies, but worse, harder, and almost impossible to predict. But I'm still happy I'm here.